It's time to go through Star Wars, scene by scene, frame by frame. But first, to all our listeners, we have to issue a very heartfelt, important, sincere correction and apology. Earlier in the episode, I said something very silly. I said that Korn's Follow the Leader came out in 1999. Now, of course, everybody knows it came out in 1998.
That's
again,
disgusting.
I want to say sorry, first of all, to Lacey.
That's disgusting.
I love her. And I know I'm going to have to work to regain your trust.
Trust is hard to build.
I look forward to doing that work.
Oh, my God.
Thank you so much.
This is embarrassing.
We'll try to press forward with Star Wars.
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, Star Wars, the motion picture, opens with the 20th Century Fox fanfare. I think this is probably the most linked that a studio fanfare and music is to the contents of the actual film that follows. Would you agree?
I wouldn't know how to disagree.
I think most people, when they hear the 20th Century Fox theme, automatically fill in their head. Now it's straight into Star Wars. It's like,
Okay, wait, sing it.
Can't
wait for Star Wars. When does the Star Wars part happen?
And then the dramatic no sound for a minute, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then just, yeah. I mean, it's right there. That's why it's one of the greatest movies ever made. That even the worst Star Wars movie, if you go see it in theaters and you get that experience, although of course you don't get that experience anymore because there's no 20th Century Fox. It was so weird in 2015 to go see the movie with no Fox opening fanfare.
If you do it again, I will leave.
Well, you remember how it goes, right?
I do. Stop.
Now, another thing you won't care about is, God, I'm not looking forward to this episode. As I was making this PowerPoint, I'm like, God, I hate this movie now.
Well, that's all I needed.
Knowing Lacey's gonna,
That's the point of the podcast, for me to make you hate yourself.
They have on Disney Plus, all the Star Wars shows start with, well, first, if you see a Marvel movie, it starts with the Marvel opening. Dun, 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 dun,
with all the comics that speed by, yeah.
So they've done that with Star Wars too now. So,
a montage.
Yeah, you're seeing all the iconic characters and this new sound. And so that's how it opens now. And I hate that. I hate that, like...
I was going to say, it had me from the jump and then lost me from jump too. But but I love the... I love the flying through space moment. I love the... It's what, number one or number two of the most iconic sounds score. I don't know what you call it. It's a song. Mm-hmm. It's a melody attached to a movie ever.
Yeah.
Maybe number one.
What's the other contender that you're thinking of?
It's tricky. I mean, do you call Jaws that sound? Do you call that sound a sound? Okay, then there's that. Then there's Jurassic Park. There's Mission Impossible.
As time goes by, Casablanca.
Sure. There's Halloween. Those are the ones that are standing. I mean, Godfather. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pick. This one might be number one because it's immediately, it's top three. You just don't know where.
Yeah. Warner Brothers sometimes does the Casablanca
2001:
theme
A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Actually, that is used the most of. I mean, that's just very memeable. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something?
I don't know if you count 2001 because that existed before the movie.
Oh, okay.
But then so did as time goes by. The Warner Brothers studio fanfare will sometimes incorporate as time goes by from Casablanca. Dun, 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 dun,
and then wavy screen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yakko, Wacko, and Dot come out.
We could really just do an entire episode on these things, but why don't we move on past literally the opening fucking pixel?
I got bad news for you. I have a lot more to say about these pixels. Just to follow up, I hate the Star Wars Disney Plus opening because it makes Star Wars something other than movies. It's like, no, Star Wars, the franchise, the universe of Star Wars. It's all one big bucket of content. I don't like that. When you link it to 20th Century Fox, it's like the magic of the movies. Here we go. And it's you first hear a non-Star Wars sound. And I love that. I love that you hear a non-Star Wars sound into Star Wars. Whereas the new thing's like all that exists is Star Wars.
It's the same reason why the HBO sound is the beginning. I know there's like a a specific movie where I'm like, that's it. That's the movie that comes after that sound. And I can't think of what it is anymore, but I think it might be Beetlejuice.
A movie after HBO.
Oh, yeah. Well, because that's the only way I saw like movies with cursing, movies that were newish, just came out of the theater. Is that Miss Barber would record them and then we'd pick out of her Rolodex thingy which one we wanted to watch. And they all started with the because they were all recorded off HBO. I didn't have HBO.
Right. But that hasn't been replaced in your adulthood with bum 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 or The Sopranos or Game of Thrones.
No, these things get locked in. They're locked in. They're locked in.
Weigh in, listener. Which HBO theme do you hear in your head after you hear the HBO opening?
Comment up above.
That's new.
I just want to freak people.
Does it.
What?
This is like when
Right on your wall above your computer, your comments. Because no one cares. No, I'm kidding. I care. I do care. Comment on the side.
When I was taking driver's ed, like when the driver's ed teacher is driving in the car with you, I freaked out because the teacher kept saying, slow up, slow up.
Slow up?
Does slow up mean something different from slow down? Like slow up.
I'm stopping.
Similarly, my dad calls ice cream hot cream.
Okay. Why?
It's the opposite.
Wait, but he's kidding, right?
I don't know.
It's one of those things where I say ranch just to make myself mad instead of saying ranch dressing, and then you just only say it that way eventually.
You forgot that you were doing it.
Forgot that it was
Maybe.
ever a joke. Yeah.
Maybe. So
hot cream.
Star Wars.
Like icy hot.
If you watch Star Wars, the special edition, the only version you can watch legally, you will see how fast the Star Wars logo zooms on the screen. That's because they had to speed it up so they can then throw in Episode 4, A New Hope. And again, A New Hope, what a limp title for a movie. Call it The New Hope or call it A New Hope Appears.
This is just a new hope that you could have.
A New Hope, finally.
There could be it's up to you. This is just a option.
Right. You know, A Clockwork Orange, that's a specifically chosen title. Like, you're just seeing one Clockwork Orange, this specific guy and his weird ultra violence. But in Star Wars, you're like, okay, so I'm just looking at one of the New Hopes. Okay.
Yeah, well, there's lots of galaxies, Matt. So, I mean, everybody's fighting their own battles.
Lacey, you'll be happy to know that I spent a lot of time this morning doing side-by-side comparisons of what the text of the crawl says in 1977 versus now. A little bit of spacing difference. The word rebel is capitalized.
Is this really happening?
That's it.
Oh, thank Jesus Christ.
So then there's a big ship that comes on.
Oh.
Yeah. And
that is a big ship.
People were losing their fucking minds in 1977 when this happened. And it's still pretty cool today. I'm sure Lacey doesn't like it.
No, it's cool.
It's pursuing a smaller ship, the Tantive 4, where we meet R2-D2 and C-3PO. Lacey, what do you think of these guys?
They grow on you. I like R2-D2 right away. C-3PO takes a minute because it's not fair because he's constantly responding to something we're not hearing. He's constantly being annoyed by something we don't read as annoying. So he just kind of comes off sounding like a sassy bitch. Always correcting R2-D2, who seems to be making lovely beeping noises.
I think it'd be like if people watched a movie of our lives and saw how we treat our dog, who is just the sweetest, cutest, he's everything you want in a dog, and we hate him for it.
This is what we'll get canceled for. You cannot. We love our dog. But we aren't your traditional dog people. We don't see every little dog action as like, oh, he's being dog. We see it as move.
Yeah, we don't really have the capacity to be into our dog, but he's there and we take good care of him, we're fed up with him. And every cute dog thing, we're like, oh my God, you again?
You would do that, Gunner. That's so you.
Greeting me when I get home.
Gross.
I'm also wired to not like things that like me back.
Oh, that's true. Man's best friend, sick.
So, yeah, R2-D2, but he is dog-like. He moves like a dog. He sort of... He's
super intelligent.
He gets excited.
He's pig-like.
Yeah, okay, he's a pig. You're right. I would like our dog more if he was a pig.
Stop talking about our dog. He's right there.
This is where we meet R2 and 3PO. And we also meet the evil Darth Vader and the beautiful and heroic Princess Leia. Tell me a little bit about each of these people, will you?
I've always enjoyed Darth Vader's look. I never realized how campy it is until this watch and how kind of If I were a gay man, and I am, I would like that cod piece. It's just hard to take. He's a tall man, so his shiny dick vessel is just like, it's eye height, so it's just glistening when he
Okay.
moves. It's just very like plastic crotch.
It's the things I learn when I watch a movie with you. Never notice his cod piece, but go on. But
it's quite the piece.
You do see the world like you have the They Live glasses, and you see only cod pieces. You see only dicks.
I see only
Packages.
member junk. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's one of the first things you told me about yourself.
I can't stop looking at men's betweens. Okay, that's weird. He walks in. I mean, I love that they give you a blank white slate. Nothing in here matters. You're all nothing. You guys fall over if someone goes pew, or if someone just runs into you. They fall over. They're just a pile of men, and he's just like, yes, I wear the opposite color. So I've always enjoyed Vader's whole deal. There he is. And then, of course, I am a fan of Princess Leia's hair. The dress is not one I would have chosen. I understand that she has that planet has their own style, but she looks perfectly fine, and it's somehow covered up, but also sexy because of the thinness of the fabric. The full face of makeup, as we've already discussed, bothers me, and I need 3 scenes of Leia before I'm like all in Leia. Mm-hmm. The first couple just fall kind of flat for me. That's all. She's the only woman in the whole fucking thing except for the aunt.
It is an issue though, because I mean, basically the second time you see her, she's doing a British accent. It is until she hooks up with Luke and Han. I would agree that she doesn't really work as a character, but even though
I need after the trash compactor scene. From then on, she's good. She has to catch her groove with Han and Luke.
Okay,
she's acting a little princessy before that.
But she is a princess. She needs to get knocked down a peg.
No, well, she's acting like not very grateful for being rescued and stuff. And I need some gratitude. No,
okay, that's fair.
Ungrateful. It's hard to rescue people.
She's been tortured and captured, and
she took a
watched
nap.
her planet get genocided.
She took a nap after her planet was genocide. It tuckered her out. She's okay. She hasn't even messed up her rouge.
People process trauma in different ways.
Yeah, by being assholes.
Okay,
to people
can
who are
you explain to me what's happening in the plot right here? What's happening at this point in the movie?
Well, she seems to know who he is.
She does. She says, "Darth Vader, only you could be so bold." But what the big ship captures the little ship. And then what? Okay, so
they specifically went after her because she had taken plans to expose the weakness of the Death Star, and I guess he knew that. I'm not sure how he knew she had taken something, but he knew he needed to go retrieve it from her.
Yeah,
they didn't have the cloud then, or else he would have been fucked.
Why?
Well, because she's got it on a hard drive. You can go locate her,
and you
send it to the galaxy. Well.
You saw Rogue One, and that was. Which is supposed to be the immediate prequel to this, which is the story of them stealing the plans.
Oh.
And the end of that movie hinges on like, we got to upload this to the thing. And it takes a long time. But yeah.
Data, man.
Data. I think this screenplay is impeccable. But for this, I think that the sort of the plot machinations in terms of the politics, who's on what side, are a little confusing to people who haven't seen this 100 times. Leia right here is supposed to be acting in her capacity as a government, as a republic official or a government official.
Yeah, that's I read her story as being like, I'm a diplomatic. This is a diplomatic ship, or whatever. We're nonviolent or whatever. That seems like a cover, and I think it might be a little more true than it reads.
It is a cover though. He's like, no, you're part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
A traitor to who?
So to the Empire. She's supposed to be working in her capacity as the Empire, but she's secretly working to bring the whole thing down.
Wait, but who composes what planets create the Empire? Everything. All planets in sight are the Empire.
It's like the United States.
They're
Louisiana's
planets.
Louisiana's a state.
I understand how states work, but the whole world is not part of it. Earth is not an empire.
In this, no, Earth would be part of a greater empire. Just make the United States on a bigger scale. Instead of states making up a country, it's planets make up an empire.
I got that. But how on earth do you keep everybody united under that empire? It's far too
fear.
huge. Okay.
That's
well,
why the Death
why
Star exists.
is there a rebellion? Because they are starting to do what to the empire?
The empire has always been crooked and evil.
So why would anyone want to be part of it?
Well, look at history. Why
You're
do
on a
empires
whole
ever?
other fucking planet. Make a group.
That's what they're doing.
I know.
Okay.
So there should be more of them.
Then we agree. So, she's captured, but before she sneaks some hidden plans on R2-D2, well, we don't know that's what she's doing. We just see her crouching over on R2.
I had a feeling.
Then R2-D2 and C-3PO jettison. And
Like this. They got away though.
Yeah, they did. And the Imperial officials are like, don't worry about that escape pod. There's no life forms aboard. They know about droids,
They know about droids though. That was one of my notes is like, how handy to be invisible. I mean, they hide in plain sight the entire movie. They don't mind us. We're just droids. But they have like they have emotions. They have connections to each other. They have loyalty. They have the ability to deceive. Are these the only droids that can do this, or are they just
No, I
really
think all
stupid?
droids. I think that's intentional. I think that the comedy comes from like 3PO in all respects is like a human in terms of intelligence and and emotions and sentience, but they still treat him like he's Alexa.
Fine, but he gets to also play dumb. He gets to also be like, "Oh no, I'm on your side. I'm your droid now. You put my name on your foot like Andy. Then yeah, no, fuck those other guys. Who are they even? I don't even know. I have no loyalties to them at all. This is my friend. He comes with me everywhere. Like
Artificial intelligence means emotional intelligence as well, and the ability to lie and to advance your own interests.
right, but you think they'd catch on at a certain point if there's just millions of droids running around totally lying to other people.
Yeah, you would.
Also, there's sure are a lot of humans in this galaxy.
Yeah, there's a thing in the Star Wars extended universe about like human supremacy.
And I guess you do learn that inside of those stormtrooper costumes, it's just regular people, regular man people, humanoid people. But they do try to make them look like insects with the shape of the helmet. Across the board, odd choices for helmet shapes. Darth Vader's the only one I like. And I'm the only one that I'm like, yes, that helmet works.
And it's like lifted directly from samurai movies.
Then that's why it's not over exaggerated. It's just exaggerated enough. He looks important. Where, yeah, like it's almost like they gave all the stormtroopers stupid face. Like they gave like the brows like over their eyes or like squinting like, oh.
They do look like bugs.
Yes,
You're
and then
right.
they have these big jaws, like they're just like, oh, that's.
It's funny.
Stupid.
I look at them like, yeah, that's just the iconic stormtrooper look. But yeah, they do look like bugs.
It's like they're disrespecting them.
David Prowse is the body of Darth Vader, and James Earl Jones plays the voice. George Lucas was not happy with David Prowse's voice. And he thought we need something a little more gravitas, a little scarier. So they brought in James Earl Jones, who was an Oscar nominee at the time, but they had very little room in the budget. And so they said, James, we can offer you either $7,000
Oh my!
or points on the picture. And James Earl Jones was thrilled to get $7,000 for a day's work rather than tens of millions of dollars. Yeah.
I mean, R2-D2 already looks like a trash can, and then they just straight up give you a trash can next with feet. I didn't realize though. I mean, it's for so much of the time R2-D2 just rolls instead of walks. There are shuffling moments, but mainly it's a roll. So it's like that couldn't have just been a robot. I mean, they couldn't have just had some motor put. Why make a man suffer? Is what I'm saying. Without any facial
because Kenny
credit.
Baker, the actor, is actually in the R2-D2 costume doing stuff.
That seems miserable on a desert.
Yeah.
Or ever.
Well, it's, invent a robot for our movie. A real robot that can move. I don't know. I don't know why they did that.
You just have to put it on a little motor, they had. I'm explaining this? Okay, so so when I first watched this movie, I just thought that they had the escape pod with R2-D2 and 3PO go to the nearest planet, and then I'm just like, well, they lucked out. All the shit they need's on this planet. Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Han Solo. But I guess they were going there for a reason, and they immediately get picked up off the, well, they walk around a little bit on an impossibly large desert, and they get scooped up, and then they get brought straight to Luke Skywalker's house, but they were headed for Obi-Wan. So
but you're skipping on the magical 10 minutes that we spend with the droids in the sand crawler.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
There sure are creatures in that
Yeah, a
creature
lot of
capturer.
creatures, lot of fun robot designs, but then we meet the Skywalkers.
Look, in every kind of movie where the person is the movie is responsible for thinking up every possible kind of weirdness you could have or difference you might possess from being on a different planet or from a different galaxy, I almost just do this and wait for it to be over. I have never not been completely let down. There's always a couple of really good ideas, and then there's the fucking solid colored bullshit people. Like, then there's just the army men stuck around. The filler.
Wait, I don't follow.
I mean, it's in the Avengers movies. It's in, or Guardians movie. What's the one with Jeff Goldblum in it? Jeff Goldblum.
Thor. Yeah.
Yes, in Thor movies. It's in The Fifth Element. It's here. It's
like sensory overload?
No. They are supposed to be able to think of, what would something look like if it had this kind of shit on its planet? Well,
okay.
it would look really like something we can't imagine, and that's hard to create. So they always have like 5 or 6 really good ideas that are extremely different from each other. I can't even give you, like the Wookiee, for instance, that I understand a planet that he'd come from. That makes sense to me. A fish person, that makes sense too. I get that planet. But then there's just random like guy with weird nose. And then I get let down by where their imagination fell off the cliff. So whenever they compile all their little things, it's not like, yay, I get to explore this wonderland. It's, I don't want to look for the disappointments.
But the droids get led to the Skywalkers. And then what happens?
I really don't understand how much of this is like, oh, that worked out. Sorry. Oh, that worked out. Or this was Leia's plan all along. I don't think she knew anything about Luke. I mean, okay, so that was fucking convenient. So it's just a boy and his uncle who it seems like they're running a farm, and I know that they have a farm, but it seems like they're in charge of like a group of people, a neighborhood or a village of some kind, but it just seems to be him, his uncle, and his aunt. So that's weird. And they're in need of some new equipment, and so they usually can find something off of that old scavenger truck that comes around every now and then. So they grab those 2 droids that we know and love after a different droid blows up. And now the gang's all here.
Yes, finally. But this is just, this is good world building for just how shitty. We're here in the future in this magical space world, and it looks like shit and it's boring. It's not the future, but the sci-fi, the wonderful sci-fi universe that you could only imagine, and then you see it and you're like, oh, it's boring and shitty.
Well, I mean, it looks really lonely. Like, how much distance is there between sand huts? It just looks so desolate. So there's so many moments in this movie that look like it's a landscape of nothing.
So you feel how Luke Skywalker feels.
I feel the vastness.
Yeah.
The separation.
But what's the dynamic with the family?
I mean, he's obedient. He does what he's supposed to do, but he is itching to leave. Doesn't want to be a farmer. Wants to go to pilot school. Loves piloting. Whatever kids he knew his age have already aged up and gone on to flight school. I mean, I don't really know where they're going.
I don't know. He says the academy. I don't know if that means the Empire, the Imperial Academy,
like
or
the academy to become rebels. Like
the Rebel Academy, or is there a this planet specific academy?
I also don't know their politics. Like, are these guys are friendly to the rebellion, or are they part of the Empire? I've
always thought they were friendly to the rebellion just because Luke says it's not like I hate the Empire, I hate the Empire. But his Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen never expressed their sympathies. Presumably, they're like, I don't deal with that stuff. It doesn't affect me. I don't think about it.
Well, it affected them because he gave him a child, and they probably don't talk about it a lot because then he'll realize, like, oh, your dad is a Darth Vader type. I mean, it seems like they're distancing. The uncle's like, I just have a farm. This is how I'm going to make my living. I just need to worry about the crop. I need to protect Luke. Luke's going to die if he starts trying to use the Force or all kinds of shit. And I need my helper. So, part of me thinks he's keeping him from the academy so that he doesn't then go find out about who he is and then kill himself.
And I realized this time around, they have their conversation about like, well, this time next year, I'll hire more workers and you can go. And it's like, no, I realized, a year from now, they would just have the exact same conversation. But he's doing the thing that lots of parents, the mistake lots of parents make, which is the thing I'm trying to prevent is going to cause the thing. I'm shielding you from all that stuff, and I'm forcing you to stay on this moisture farm and creating in you the desire to leave. Whereas maybe if I'd done things differently, you'd have been happy to stay here and work at the stationery store.
I think no matter what, he was going to go. It's just how contentious do you want this to be when I leave? You want to be dead, Uncle? Because I can make that happen. Luke is a curse. He just looks lonely, misunderstood, and the aunt is a non-character.
Yeah. So.
And like starving for porn because one princess pops out of a droid and he can't stop fucking watching it. God, I feel his boner.
I mean, it's the
She's
most
beautiful.
interesting thing to happen. And I'll every time I watch it, I'm like, did I imagine him saying she's beautiful? For some reason, it's a thing I can't remember if I imagined or not because I think it's kind of dumb.
Well, he only ever sees his aunt. She's not the most pretty thing.
He's playing around with his droids and
trying to look for a place where he can stick his
R2-D2
penis.
Looking for somewhere to stick his penis. R2-D2 suggests you can put your penis where my restraining bolt is right now, but that doesn't work. Okay, so I'll play a snippet of this message. That'll get you to take off my restraining bolt. And he does. And then he's like, well, play the message. And R2-D2 says, what message? It's very funny. This thing is impeccably plotted because this is what taking off the restraining bolt is what leads R2 to run away to go search for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's been put on a mission, Matt. And you're no droid if you don't fulfill your mission.
Did my clicker just stop working? Because
you use a clicker?
Yeah.
You don't just go boop with your finger?
I go boop with my thumb.
Okay. Technology.
So Luke goes chase after his missing droid.
And quite the little Land Cruiser, whatever these things are called.
The speeder. Wait, what is it called?
I don't know. I like it though.
Sand speeder.
I do like the little scenes where it's just like just him on the never-ending desert.
Yeah, and I like
you can feel how fast it is.
In the original cut, you can literally see Vaseline on the lens to cover up the wheels. It's very charming. But this is why you can't call me a nerd because I can't even tell you what that thing is called.
I won't call you anything.
Thank you. He goes to the great Dune Sea, but he gets attacked by filthy sand people.
How does anyone get anything done in this place? Can you go to Walmart without the sand people? You can't move around at night because of the sand people. That's the day.
There's very little you can do with it. Well, but he's invading their territory.
It all seems to be their territory.
No,
okay,
this
these
is their
masks are upsetting. Can
territory.
we skip?
Obi-Wan or Ben Kenobi shows up because the message said, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's like, I don't know that person. Maybe it's Ben Kenobi. And Ben Kenobi's like, oh, my name is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I know. Oh, Ben can be.
It's not a great alias, but he starts giving the exposition. I'm a Jedi. I fought against the Empire. Getting this message. Time to get back to work. Why don't you go with me? Because now he sees an opportunity to recruit. I really love this world building. This is when they expand on this, and especially with the prequels, once you start seeing the old Republic before the dark times, before the Empire, you realize, no, I liked it better when it was just a couple sentences you said in that first movie. But just doling out a little bit of information. Luke, you got to come with me. You got to be a Jedi. Go on me with this mission to Alderaan. I can't do that. I have work to do.
I'm on Luke's side.
Yeah, well, you love to work. Then, my favorite scene in the movie, we cut to the Death Star. This is our first look inside of the Death Star. And we're having a meeting of bureaucrats in a conference room. And I love these bureaucrats. These are just British theater actors. And George is like, just play some fascists, will you? They can. And they're all just arguing with each other about how great and big and beautiful their weapons are. And Darth Vader comes in, and we see, and you pointed out to me, I thought Darth Vader was like the big bad of this movie, but he's just like a functionary.
He's still trying to prove himself.
He's like a Rasputin, or it's definitely a trope in fantasy. The queen or the king adopts like a weird wizard or something who's now attending all the council
Game
meetings.
of Thrones.
Yeah, like Melisandre.
Yeah.
From Game of Thrones.
And she's proving all the time that her shit works. She brought someone back from the dead, a few people. So
and here,
it's not your old stupid religion. I mean, it is. It works.
well, because here, Darth Vader, they're talking about the Death Star, and Darth Vader interjects, "Oh, the Force, though." And I would also be annoyed with him. Like, well, we're talking about the fucking Death Star. We're not talking about the Force. And he's like, no, the Force is better.
Well,
Nobody
then why
was
haven't you
comparing
done
them.
anything with your Force?
And so then he starts force choking this guy. And then the real boss, Grand Moff Tarkin, tells Vader, release him. But this does not make everybody in the room suddenly believe in the Force, which is smart. Just because you got one thing, just because you can do your parlor trick doesn't mean I need to believe everything you say. Grand Moff Tarkin's played by Peter Cushing. He is eaten up this movie. So good. What else do you think about this scene?
What? It's your slide, bitch. You tell me. It's charming how simple and silly all the little buttons and badges and stuff that they put on their costumes. But I mean, this is like the most egregious. Just like stick blue squares here.
It works.
It works.
This is the kind of evil I prefer in Star Wars. I love the bureaucratic evil. I love evil like, no, we're just like military guys and we want power. It's not about the Force. They're not Siths. That's why I like General Hux from the new Star Wars movies. Just
you like the basics.
if he were in,
Follow the money.
if you put him into any military dictatorship from our world, that fit right in. Doesn't matter. Just want to control stuff.
Another planet, another dollar. Here's where we get to see the great emotional acting that is this movie. I know you keep saying, oh, it's a kid's movie. Oh, it's not supposed to be a drama. There are plenty of Disney movies that made me cry, that make me believe that the kid is sad about the parent dying.
Well, first say what happens.
So, it's his face. All right. Well, for some reason, he knows that he needs to run back home. This is Luke. Sorry, Luke has been dilly-dallying with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he somehow realizes like, oh crap, I might have led something right to them. I don't really actually remember.
Find the Jawa cruiser has been raided by stormtroopers. So they're like, oh, then that means they could track the droids because they're looking for the droids. That means they could track them to my uncle's house, which they did.
He speeds back and just it's a crater and the and the most fried little sad skeletons going, ow. And that's how he knows.
Why, Luke?
That's how he knows. Well, there's only 2 people that live in this hut when I'm not here. So that's aunt and uncle. No. And he just...
The ant skeleton had a bow in her hair.
Right. It could be 2 stormtroopers, but no, they're definitely dead. Why not
He
just...
wants them to be dead. He's not going to ask
Right,
questions.
that's what I'm saying. Oh, no, I guess I got to go do the Force and stuff. I need a nap.
Never forget # yeah.
So he's tuckered. Look at his face. He's just crushed. No tears, no nothing. Just
Okay, but your criticism right here is he just is insufficiently emotional at the
he
death
has
of his
zero
aunt.
emotion to this at all.
You looking at this picture right here that I'm looking at? Look at that. Oh, dead?
Oh, okay. Wow. No, really. Sold.
This is all it takes for Luke to then go back to Ben Kenobi and say, like, all right, let's go.
I mean, he's already with Ben Kenobi.
No, he's by himself right here when he finds his aunt and uncle.
Well, then what is this pile and what is
That's
that old
a
man
different
in
scene.
his
That's
sheet?
when he then returns to Kenobi and the droids. And I've always loved that C-3PO is helping clean up. He's putting this robe into a fire.
That is nice. All right, and here's the most devastated one of them all. Princess is coming to talk some British to the patriarchy here. They use the princess has been captured. She's not talking though. She won't give them what they need. So Darth Vader knows she needs a big black ball robot to come stick her in the
The
arms.
scariest thing in the world to me when I was a kid. I was like, she must fucking hate needles.
Who wouldn't?
Not what are they shooting her with, but yeah.
Milk. Look at it. But she's very sassy still. I don't know. They bring her to the war room for some reason. She needs to know the layout of the entire Death Star for some reason.
Yeah, they
They're not
torture
very
her
careful.
and
Do they
interrogate
torture
her.
She's not even sweaty.
We're to presume that they torture her, that this injection is some sort of torture
I
thing.
thought
But
it's just like truth serum.
or maybe it's truth serum. I don't know. I would argue truth serum is torture. You know, maybe you don't think it is, but we sort of have different values when it comes to enhanced interrogation. We fight about it a lot.
Well, and I
Later-
don't find being truthful torture like you. Zing.
Damn it.
Yeah, you walked into that one.
Later, she's brought out to go meet with Grand Moff Tarkin, and this is where she speaks British.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff Tarkin. Let's hear Leia British.
Governor Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash.
Oh.
I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Oh.
Charming to the last. You don't know how hard I found it signing the order
How
to
great he
terminate
is.
your life.
Look at that.
Surprised you had the courage to take the responsibility yourself.
I mean, it's not just a line. It's a whole scene
It's a whole
where
scene,
she's
yeah.
talking. That's nuts.
Yeah, she was.
Well, they could just say the serum it makes you British,
you British.
which is torture.
So they want her to disclose the location of the rebel base, and all will be forgiven.
There's just one base. It's an entire galaxy. There's one fucking base. What if you can't travel?
The
What
big-
if you're really into being in the
great
rebellion?
big base. I don't
but
know.
You can't travel.
It's got to be based somewhere. Where is the
There should be several
rebellion
bases.
headquartered? Where is it's the Washington D.C. of the rebellion? You know. Tell us.
I can still
or
vote though,
else.
can't I?
Tell us or what?
I'm
Tell
saying I
us-
don't need to go to DC to vote. I'm just saying it's very. You need to have some sort of spacecraft to be part of this damn rebellion. It's classist.
Tell us where the base is, or else we'll destroy your home planet of Alderaan. She says,
whole planet.
no. They're like, we'll do it, we promise. And she says, fine, the rebellion, the base is on Dantooine.
Deuteronomy.
Dantooine. They're on Dantooine. And then Tarkin is like, great, but Dantooine is not going to make a sufficient demonstration of our firepower, so we're going to destroy Alderaan anyway.
There goes all your trust.
Collective punishment.
And she goes, no. I left my keys on that planet.
Yep, they destroy the planet, and then once again she goes, no. Oh, no.
I'm never going to be able to get that collection of burned CD discs again.
I don't know. I mean, she experiences the genocide of her people. You want her to be like a wreck for the rest of the
Something-
movie?
No, just like a guttural scream and then fade to black. And then
Oh, that's good.
And then
I like that.
I know. And
No!
so just like that. And then whenever you go retrieve her out of her fucking, she isn't freshly waking up from like a cozy little nap. She's just like, her hair's a little messy, and she's just like,
Look, she's
Thinking.
a soldier. She knows. Put that aside.
So she
Time
should be
to grieve
strategizing.
later. For now, survive.
at least she's well rested.
The only way out is through, Leia. She knows that.
Thank you. Without you, this movie, I'd be so lost. Cantina. No, I do like the cantina scene. I love the little guys who are playing the music. That's a great look. Then there's also the people who come from Satan's planet, and then the wolf planet. See, he didn't have a lot of great ideas. He's just like, I don't know, what are creatures? Satan,
This is what he was.
wolves.
I mean, this is why he was specifically disappointed, because in the special edition, that wolf guy isn't even in it. Because he's like, it was just a costume that I bought from a store, probably.
Sure. With laser pointers in its eyeballs. But anyway, they're going to go find a ride, right? They need a pilot.
Get to Alderaan.
Okay, they're going to Princess Leia's because R2D2 needs to. I'm confused as to why he needed Obi-Wan Kenobi to get him to Alderaan.
Well, it was just, hey, do
You're
we
just someone I can
have any
trust.
allies on this planet? And the planet that's down there? Oh, I know. Obi-Wan Kenobi lives there.
Okay, I'll allow it. That's fine. So he knows a good place, and this is not. You don't fuck around in here. In here, people are from other places.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes. So they go in there and they find a planet. A pilot to take them to a planet.
Who is that pilot?
That is the one and only Harrison Ford, the Han of Solos.
As Han Solo. But you might be asking yourself, how did he get the name Solo?
But because he likes to be on his own.
Well, yeah. Okay, so
And
you
he
don't
loves-
have to watch the movie Solo from 2018 to find that
He
out. 'cause
loves
Lacey
red cups.
told you.
Oh.
So the key to the movie working to being the masterpiece that it is Han Solo.
Yeah, well,
And he
and
doesn't
I would
show
say
up-
and Chewie. I really
And Chewie, right.
I really enjoy. Look at that look. That is a very creative. I mean, it looks like the way Michael J. Fox looks when he changes into Teen Wolf, but
This movie had to walk so Teen Wolf could run. But he doesn't show up until 47 minutes into the movie. Isn't that crazy?
wow, that's
Of a
wild.
2-hour movie? Thank you. So yeah, he's playing it as cool and cocky as he can, and Obi-Wan Kenobi offers him 2,000 now and 15,000 when we get to Alderaan, and Han accepts. And when I was a kid, I was like, that's a good deal. So
You weren't wrong.
He's very, again, cocksure, cocky, cool, and then his new clients leave, and he's like, "Oh my god, thank fucking god!"
I'm so in debt. From Pizza the Hut, it is an issue that I've seen Spaceballs like 3 or 4 times because they do commingle in my head, and I'm laughing at the helmets, and I'm wondering why Jabba the Hutt is not made of pizza, and all
So
the things.
Spaceballs was a thing that worked for you, having no knowledge of Star Wars.
I liked Help Me.
Mel Brooks.
I like Mel Brooks comedies. Yeah, they're just tonally good, and I understood what this Star Wars is just part of the atmosphere. It's part of everyone's consciousness. It's baked into so much. So I mean, I knew it enough. I of course appreciate a lot more of the jokes after watching this.
I guess we should talk about Han's meeting with Greedo.
Is it not like a well tread?
All of this is well tread. Why do we have a podcast?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Do you want to stop?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I feel really bad for what I said.
Yeah. Well, Han shoots Greedo.
First?
I mean, in the original cut, first.
I didn't ask for all that. I
It
want
is
in your
weird.
heart. When does Han shoot?
He shoots first.
I kind of don't like that.
You don't
it seems
like
like
that?
he's mean. I mean, they're not wrong. I think it's a choice, and I would have gotten over it because it's Han. But I get it.
But
It does seem mean.
the emotional payoff of him deciding the rebellion is worth fighting for
After taking a man's life.
starting from a guy who was going to turn him into Jabba. So you can
Who's
turn
just
me
doing
into
his job.
Jabba, who's going to kill me, or I can kill you. It's you or me.
We all make choices. He's alone in this world. He's got to look out for his number one. I get it.
He sticks his neck out for nobody. It is exactly the Rick Blaine from Casablanca arc.
Exactly.
It is. He sticks his neck out for nobody, but by the end, he's won over by the power of the cause and also friendship and love.
Why is his hand so swollen right there?
Because that's why they call him Han. So then we meet the Millennium Falcon.
Look at his
Again,
little outfit.
such a great selling point about the movie is see all this cool space
Merchandise?
stuff and just say, what a piece of junk.
Oh,
Look, this thing fucking sucks.
I thought you were thinking of the merchandising. Yeah. Because, you're going to have stuff that works and not look good. Stuff that looks good doesn't work great.
And the stormtroopers are there. They know Luke has the plans. They're on the chase. The bounty hunters are after Han. They all make it out of there alive just in the nick of time. Yes.
What a skill. I mean, I know there's like motorheads and gearheads, whatever they're called, who can fix up a Chevy, but the scaffolding you would need, just the scale of the ship that Han Solo was able to like customize, and like it's just that he knows how to fix everything inside of it. It's like saying you know how to fix a city, or like I know how to fix every single thing in that skyscraper. That's amazing.
Look, made a few special modifications.
Well, and if anything breaks, he fixes it. I'm just saying that is very impressive that you're just a guy that knows how to take care of a fucking ship.
This is George Lucas with some fucking car that he had when he was a teenager that he loved. That if I was a car guy, I'd know what the car was. But he
Fine, but it's just
had
a car. This
to
is
him-
everything. That's not my point. I'm saying you're having to worry about furniture and electricity and the functionality of something that flies and all the stuff that keeps it seaworthy. And I'm just saying it's more than knowing about a car. It's like knowing about everything you need to know to raise a skyscraper.
He's a very impressive man. I agree.
I just wanted to give him that credit. I think we think, oh yeah, he knows how to take care of a ship. Well, he has a ship.
You're
but
right.
that's really cool.
You're
And he
right.
knows how to drive
He knows how to
between
take care
planets.
of the ship. He knows how to make the modifications and
He goes to
fly
light speed.
and be the best at flying.
He knows how to use coordinates. He doesn't panic. He puts them in accurately because you could just end up in a fucking black hole, and then where would you be?
Yeah.
No, really, where would you be?
And that's the only time they say anything like that in all of Star Wars. But it's like, seems like one of the most important things is you're just flying through space at light speed. Yeah, you could come out and be in the middle of a sun. It's important. So they're on the Millennium Falcon. I hate this episode. They're on the Millennium Falcon.
What?
And
If you
no,
don't
it's
like
really
it, who's
good.
okay, great. If you say they're on the Millennium Falcon one more fucking time, where are they, Matt? No.
They're on
No!
that. You know,
No!
it's funny. The thing about Star Wars is characters will pronounce things differently. Some people call it the Falcon, and some say the Falcon.
That is funny.
Weigh in, listener. Which side are you on?
This is like the most just unimpressive, stupid freaking scene where, I mean, Luke Skywalker is, okay, this is now they're on the ship and Luke Skywalker's just back there fucking around with his lightsaber in a ship for some freaking reason.
You gotta do something.
Fine. And I know he's in training, you know, there's no time to spare except for like becoming a real Jedi takes years, but yeah, let's train on the ship. Fine. And
Let's start somewhere.
Whoa. And he's just, I can't. It's like watching a kid with the cup and the ball thing. Going, I can't do it. And then the old guy's like, you know what? You're trying too hard. Try to not think. Puts the helmet on. Katoop. Told you. Like, bitch, he had a 50-50 shot. Anyway.
What's your issue?
He just looks so... It's funny. It's relatable. It's very real. It's just like, I'm practicing to be a Jedi right now.
That
it's
is
silly.
what he's doing.
It's cute. He's supposed to be this impressive Jedi in my memory, in the hearts and minds of people, but this is him just going,
No, this is just the
figure it
beginning of his
out.
journey, the first step into a wider world.
I just think it's funny that he's practicing in the back of someone else's ship while the guy's trying to fly. Quit fucking around back there.
I guess.
Because what if he puts his lightsaber through any of the stuff around him? It's a flying ship.
It is a little reckless. I wonder if there's
They
some
need to be
sort
in
of setting you
hyperspace.
can put it on where it's like, can this not cut through things at this setting?
I guess I just feel like they should have
power
asked if it was okay if they opened their lightsaber in
They probably did, but we didn't have to see that scene. We also don't see them go into the bathroom.
Okay,
ever.
well, what if they hit turbulence? He's just going to just kill Obi-Wan?
No, that's a good point. They hit a space rock, bump up, hits him in the face.
Or just a
face
hole
and
and they'll go shooting at him.
Yeah, that's the whole. Then we'd have no movie series. You're
Oh,
right.
you're right.
Well,
Plot hole.
Yeah, practicing with his little lightsaber. Use the Force. Oh, I'm better when I'm using the Force. And then Han's like, Force. Call it a bunch of bullshit is what I call.
I am a little bit confused as to what parts of this is the Force. Like, could Han Solo not pick up that lightsaber and do the same thing? What is the Force?
Well,
when do you know it's happening?
It's when Luke covers his eyes and knows where to move the lightsaber to repel the little laser shooting at him. Even though it's
How
like,
is that the Force?
It's like Elsa in Frozen. You conceal, don't feel, except reverse it. Feel, don't conceal.
I can see
You
eyes
just
shooting out of
feel
Elsa.
all
I
the
know when
energy of the universe.
I know
linking and
when
connecting
shut
us.
up. I know when Elsa's using her powers. I can see it happening. They're not. It is clear in following movies when the Force is happening. Is what I'm saying.
The Force is pretty nebulous. Yeah, they don't define it that much in this movie, other than Obi-Wan saying it combines us and unites us and
So why
binds
couldn't
us
anyone
and
be a Jedi?
combines us. Because you have to have that special something that connects you to the Force. So in the greater Star Wars universe, they call it Force sensitive. You just have more sensitivity to the Force and
So you're just
are able to channel it and use its magical powers. But it's still in all of us. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, unfortunately, it does. Shouldn't there be a planet here? Oh, right. Han Solo is very confident about his coordinates because he is certain that he now has left light speedness to the coordinates he put in, and the answer is there's not a planet. Not that he mistyped in one number.
Yeah.
No, the planet's gone. It's a thing. It happens all the time. I'm always ending up where a planet should be, and it's not there, and it's not me. It's
What's likelier, that I pressed the wrong button? No, the planet's fucking gone.
the only thing that
And they're all just like, oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
you're
no, right. Well, except for that they're seeing the bits of a planet that has exploded, and I guess they're all used to traveling up there, and they realize like these meteors are usually because something has broken apart. So fine, I'll buy it. And that's when they realize planets are going missing. So now they got to change course, I guess. Or is that when they notice like a little ship and they're thinking,
but they come
let's
upon the Death Star.
They were like, oh, this little ship. The ship isn't big enough to be all over the place out here. It must be, there should be going somewhere nearby. It must be going to a mommy ship. And they're like, oh no, it's flying to that moon. And now I gotta say, that is fucking impressive. That is the coolest thing of the whole movie, is when they're like, oh, it's that little planet. Oh my God. Because the sheer size of it. And they wait for right then to even tell you it's a circle. You don't know anything about it. You're just like, they're just in a fucking ship. And then you see it and you're like, that's a big ship.
That's a big ship. You're right.
That's a big ship.
It's impressive.
I'd like to understand a little bit more about what's all in there. Now I do understand how Darth Vader gets his weird nothingness room. There's plenty of real estate in there.
It's just like conference rooms and like caverns and little walkways over nothing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now, this is again just a good screenplay, just cause and effect. We saw the planet destroyed a few minutes earlier. To different people see that. Now these new characters are like, oh shit, they're coming in the debris of the planet. They don't know what's happened, but they get sucked into the Death Star. They're caught in a tractor beam. How are we going to get out of this? Don't know.
I'll tell you how. They're going to go inside of the floor of the... It's just like, okay, how many ships have these people seen? And the stormtroopers are so like trained and everything, like, oh, I'm going to go do a sweep. But I'm not going to look at every place where a human could go. Whatever, fine. But they...
No, this is, you get what you pay for. This is like
Right.
minimum wage
Quality,
workers who are like,
quantity, not quality.
we did a sweep. No, we looked, we checked on the
Well,
ship.
they were
Nothing.
bringing in the sweeper.
Yeah,
actually.
the more skilled employees were coming next.
It's not the employees, it was a machine. But they find enough to say, I guess these droids were on it. I guess this is a droid ship. And then they take the droids and they're just like, oh, we'll just say whatever we want in front of these guys. They're just stupid robots.
Yeah.
Then they all sneak out of the floorboards and where the fuck's Wookiee? I don't know. And they just go poking around, right?
Well, there's some stormtroopers right outside the ship, and Han is like, "Hello down there, could you come give us a hand? Hello down there." And they come up, and then they just
Take their
attack them
little
and take their
outfits.
costumes. Yes, now we're stormtroopers. It
Their
works.
costumes, not their uniforms.
No costumes.
What kind of man are you? Oh,
What kind of man am I?
I just
Not a stormtrooper.
True. They then learn that the Princess Leia is on this Death Star, but I mean they weren't going there because of that. They weren't even going there. They learned that why? Because like over the loudspeaker or something, or just because they plugged into the know everything hole.
They go in because they're trying to find the tractor beam to get it to deactivate it. Then they can escape. But they're like, okay, well, while we're waiting on Ben to go do that, let's poke around, plug into the tell me everything hole. And it tells them the princess is on the ship. And then Luke's like, we got to save the princess.
Right. Because I could jerk off to her instead of this hologram of her because I'll bet she's bigger.
It's all about jerking off with Luke. He's a sick fuck.
He's a young man. The only woman on his planet was his aunt.
Beru, yeah.
All right. So Han's like, I'm not doing that. This isn't what you paid me for. This is some bullshit. I don't know, but of course, like anything, they talk him into it, and they go on a rescue mission.
Yeah, and they get her.
Oh, and they put the Wookiee in handcuffs because how are you going to hide him? He's a prisoner.
It's a good plan.
Just a prisoner.
They pretend he's the prisoner. That's how they get into the prison. Taking a prisoner down
I've never
here,
seen it before. It is cutting edge, yes.
and they're like,
I'm not allowed to say that?
no, not
Well, then
saying
you're not
cutting
allowed to
edge.
say it's good.
It's okay.
Okay.
Agreed.
Thank you.
They're just more Death Star shenanigans. They get Princess Leia out of her cell, but stormtroopers are swarming in to attack them. So they jump into the garbage chute, end up in the trash compactor.
They do not jump in there. Leia does not think that they're doing enough to get out of the situation they're in, which they're in a hallway that's completely sealed. It does seem like this is not going to work out. And she goes, give me that. Someone's got to save our skins. And then she shoots a hole. But she ends up putting them in a lot of danger. And they're very lucky that they got out of the trash compactor. So she doesn't know what she was doing either.
No, better odds down there than up here. She made the right decision. She takes action.
Yeah, they weren't taking any action. You're right. They were just
just defending, just fighting them off. But what's the end game here? What are we going to do? Where
Kill
are
all
we
of them.
going?
Kill them all. And then you got a free run of the ship. You got all the food. You can sleep wherever.
It's a lot of killing you have to
talk
do.
on the PA. Just pretend you're.
Well, they end up in the trash compactor. What do you think of the trash compactor scene?
Whoa, that trash is way compacted. No one's gonna get that joke. Great.
It's from the book I Stink.
That we read over and over and over. What do I think of the trash compactor scene? Little strange, the water part of it, that he gets pulled under and then
Garbage water. Wait, no, business water is what you hate.
But there's a creature in there that pulls them under and it's an issue, and then it's not an issue at all. Now it's just like, oh shit, this thing's getting scrunchy. I have claustrophobia. I'm learning that more and more as I get older. I think I probably know that. But like when I see a scene like this, I am hyperventilating. I hate the idea of a room getting small slowly. So yeah, it's effective. I mean, I don't know.
But you still hate it.
No, I don't hate it. It was a nice little bonding experience. They all get very excited that they're all alive after the droids saved the day.
We did it.
Yeah.
They say.
Except for the droids did it.
Yeah, but they
all Luke
contacted the
Skywalker did
droids.
was like, where could he be? Come in, R2D. Where could he be? Oh,
Do you think our computers, whenever we do something on them, are like, oh, I did it. I did a good job at work today. And the computer's like, I did it.
I hope so. Why red and blue? So that they don't... You think they get mad when they're about to have a lightsaber battle and someone's got the same colored laser as them? They're like, well, now I'm not going to know which one's mine.
No, it's easy to tell. Are you evil? Ask. Am I evil? If you're evil, you have red.
Oh, it's like a mood ring?
If you're
It turns a color
No, it
if
doesn't
you
turn
open
a
it?
color.
How do you know?
I don't know. I don't know lightsaber lore. It's something to do with kyber crystals. But Darth Vader has a red lightsaber and he runs into Obi-Wan Kenobi. Time for us to finally let's settle this once and for all. Let's have an old man fight.
And just what athleticism.
I love how small and basic this is.
Okay, yeah. I can love it for that. Fine.
But because as this series goes on, these things get so elaborate,
You're
so
right.
acrobatic, and it's just two old men just
And they're right. They're both of them are just like, oh god damn it. Okay, but wait. But Darth Vader is much younger than Obi-Wan, right? That's who changed him.
He is younger.
He's 20 years younger.
Okay,
probably.
so this is a 7-year-old and a 50-year-old.
I'm just like, oh god, this is... If only we'd had this fight in the morning.
Plus, he's a big metal man.
My back is shot, but it's plastic.
Yeah. Obi-Wan
So Matt, what's happening in this?
Gives himself up to create a distraction to allow his friends to escape. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating. Lacey was looking at her phone during this scene.
And then from the back, I mean, this is exactly what Oompa Loompas wear. Now we're in the Rebel base. As I've learned here. Don't they look from the back look like Oompa
Yes,
Loompas?
I know, but this is audio. People don't see what we see.
I wish you would tell me that. I'm kidding. I know.
All right,
So I'm looking.
They escape the Death Star. They deactivate the tractor beam. They get on the Millennium Falcon. They do it. They get out, and then
Yay.
4 TIE fighters chase them, and they have a really neat little space battle with
Super
4
neat.
TIE fighters. It's great in how small scale it is. This movie's got perfect scale.
Ding, ding, ding.
But they make it to the planet, to the moon of Yavin. Yavin 4 is the name of the moon that this rebel base is on.
Okay.
They
So there's
deliver the
multiple
pans.
bases. Good to know.
Just one base, multiple moons. Don't know what's on those other moons.
Walmart.
Oh, there's a Walmart moon. There's a Target moon.
No.
For some reason,
Walmart
there's a Sears moon.
and a haberdashery, and then what do you call that with the hookers? Brothel. Brothel moon.
There is a Rebel moon that they're on.
And a Rebel moon.
is where we are. And they've successfully delivered the plans. They open up the plans. Oh, I can't wait to see what's in these plans.
You think that's like a moon that refuses to pull on the tide? I'm a rebel. Stay there, water.
You want me to do that?
You like it, wouldn't you?
These plans are very helpful because they say, hey, you can actually bring the whole thing down if you shoot here. Here, shoot where the X is. Great. All you guys get up in your pilots.
All
get
you
up
go
there.
do. Everyone try.
Go do your thing. Luke Skywalker, you say you're a pilot. Okay, you get a leadership position in this squadron
Right.
of fighters. Everyone complained about Rey. We didn't see her train to learn to be a Jedi. How is she so good at that? We've never seen Luke fly a plane.
Or train to be a Jedi. Oh,
But
that's
he doesn't
the
do
next
Jedi
movie.
stuff yet. But
Okay.
he does he says earlier in the movie, I'm a pretty good pilot myself.
Yeah.
But has he been to space? What is he? What
Well, wait,
craft
but
is
this
he
is
piloting
just,
over on
This is just
Tatooine?
about maneuvering, and I'm sure there's only the flying a plane and flying
a sand
a
plane
ship, or it's still the same
principle.
science that makes something avante.
Yeah, point and shoot.
I'm not talking about the fucking shooting part. I'm sure he's not shooting a lot of stuff.
No,
on his...
shoot your jet engine. You shoot it that way to go that way. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Luke Skywalker says to his new best friend Han Solo, Han, you gotta come with me. We need you. Look at us. There's only 12 of us. We're probably all going to die, and that'll be the end of the universe and the end of democracy and freedom. Please help us, please. Han Solo says, I stick my neck out for nobody. Well, what do you think about it? And he says, no, I won't. But hey, Luke, may the Force be with you.
And he meant it.
Yeah, I don't believe in that shit, but may the Force be with you.
He
Tear
meant
in
it.
my eye. Yes, it's great.
Yeah. Getting some
This is a
fucking
good
acting
movie.
out of Harrison
Sorry, I'm not
Ford.
supposed to say that.
I didn't... Who said you
You
can't
told me I can't say it's a good movie.
No, I said you can't say when a plot device is good when it's something so true. Like, yeah, I know they pretend that Wookiee's a prisoner. Isn't that so good? Like,
It is good.
Yeah, the 17th time I've seen it, it's good. What are you talking? It's so obvious. It's not like extra like this movie made that up. It didn't. I guarantee a Western did it before them.
I never said it invented it.
And that's all I was saying was that you can't be over there like, huh? It did a movie thing.
And
Jesus Christ.
I guess, yeah, I thought that would win you over, but it didn't. Thought, hey, don't you like that?
Anyway,
No.
that's the only thing I said you can't do. I didn't say you can't call the movie good. Of course, the movie's good to you. An assault on the death. God, they can't even make the whole movie through without a fat joke for no damn reason.
What are you talking about,
Well,
Lacey?
now we're looking at the Death Star dogfight that's about to happen with all the little pilot ships.
Go through this beat by beat, please.
Oh, okay. I am educated enough to do that.
No, just first of all, you like the Death Star fight or no?
Sure. It goes on a little longer than I think it needs to, honestly. But it's adequate enough like hardship that I get why they celebrate at the end. I mean, it's a massive accomplishment that they do because the Death Star looks like indefeatable, and then they defeat it. So
Because they shoot it in the shoot hole.
right, gotta put it in the shoe. I mean, it's a little unsatisfying how disposable all these men are who seem to be best friends, and then one by one they all die.
Well,
and
let me tell you something about war, Lacey.
I understand, but it's more than war buddies. These people live on a rebel moon together, like they're family. But yeah, whatever. They're there for a reason, and they've fulfilled.
Just as an action sequence, do you think that do you think your verdict is it's fine? I think this is one of the greatest action sequences in movie history. I think it has to introduce so much stuff to you, like the mechanics of how the X-Wings, the good guy fighters work versus the bad guy fighters. Like, you even learn how they scope each other out and when you shoot one versus when you shoot the other. And you follow all of it effortlessly. You get the spatial geography of the thing. You get the individual different fighters. You get how you have to swoop in, wait a certain amount of time, then bam, shoot it with your targeting computer, hit the proton torpedoes in the shoot hole. You know exactly what to do. And when they do it, it's so satisfying. And then you have the emotional payoff of Han Solo. Basically, like 1 minute after you've forgotten him, then he returns. That's perfect. Returns, saves the day, prevents Darth Vader from shooting Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker destroys the Death Star. They zoom away. The ship explodes. And then Lacey says, that explosion looks stupid.
What are you talking
You
about?
said that. You said this looks stupid.
Because it just like, boom.
What?
It wasn't loud enough. Anyway, but so that's what I feel about this scene, guys.
Yeah, but that's it. They do it. They win the movie. They win the awards. They get medals from Princess
do like
Leia.
this scene. I like them all in their little dress clothes. Finally, Luke looks like not a little sleepy man in his robe. Wookiee does not get a medal. We will not discuss this.
I watched this movie for 30 years without realizing Chewie doesn't get a medal before discovering that people on the internet started cults and terrorist organizations about it.
I like how shiny both of the robots are. They've been given the treatment. I like Leia's dress. Don't love her necklace, but that's okay.
If I didn't see the end of the movie, then when C-3PO, finally realizes, R2, I do love you. I'm so sad that you got shot.
Aww.
And then the new people, the techs come in. And he's like, you will fix him, won't you? I don't know what I'd do. I'd kill myself without him. And they're like, we'll get repairing on him right away, sir. If I hadn't seen the end of the movie, I would assume they're just lying to him. But no, we see they really did fix him. It's just a fucking computer.
These are special computers. That's Alexa and Siri. Right there.
And they can get along, so why can't we?
Exactly. And look at Harrison Ford. I can't wait for his hair to be different. He does have better hair going forward.